Hi, I'm attorney Robert J. Skowronski. America is the land of opportunity, but not of guaranteed success. And while our ideals are to welcome everyone and give them the same chances to achieve the American dream, it's often hardest to make it for immigrants, either because of language barriers, educational differences, or just plain discrimination. So it's not surprising that such a large portion of my bankruptcy clients are recent immigrants who are looking for a second chance at making it. The wonderful news is that the American culture is one that believes in second chances and won't punish immigrants for seeking the protections and the rights that are given to them in bankruptcy. Immigrants should know that in the vast majority of cases, a bankruptcy filing will have absolutely no impact on their ability to become permanent citizens, on their residential status, or on their ability to sponsor a family member, and here's why. When individuals are seeking to immigrate to the United States Citizenship and Immigration Service, known as USCIS, is evaluating their candidacy based on whether the individual possesses a good moral character. Now, bankruptcy, or the inability to pay one's debts, has no connection to one's moral character. And both common sense and the law tells us this. So, for example, if you lose your job because of the economy and you can't pay your debts, that has nothing to do with your moral character. If you get sick and are unable to pay your medical bills or credit card bills because you can't work, that has nothing to do with your moral character. And if you can't pay your bills because a divorce has left you a single parent, that also has nothing to do with your moral character. Now, the standard of good moral character is also not defined by the statute. But nothing in the statute says anything about debt, credit scores, or bankruptcy. And in a similar issue, the USCIS has recently acknowledged that receiving public benefits has no impact on one's moral character. So we know that the USCIS does not interpret good moral character to be about finances. And that makes sense, because if good moral character were about finances or bankruptcy, we'd be kicking out a ton of people from this country, starting with American citizens. Rather, the law tells us what good moral character is not, and it does so by focusing on criminal behavior. Bankruptcy or debt is certainly not a crime. Bankruptcy is a right that is exercised by hundreds and thousands of Americans each year. So fear not. If you legitimately can't pay your bills, you can file a bankruptcy without endangering your chances of becoming a full-fledged American citizen. Now, on the flip side, in the vast majority of cases, a bankruptcy also does not affect an individual's ability to sponsor a family member to immigrate to the United States. Both the statute and common sense tells us this. First, Immigration Form I-864, otherwise known as the Affidavit of Support, only asks if you have a job or property with which to support a family member when they arrive. It asks that you produce your tax returns, pay stubs, and verification of employment. Nowhere in the form does it ask that you have debt or if you filed a bankruptcy. You're also not requested to produce a copy of your credit report. Further, Section 525 of the Bankruptcy Code prohibits federal agencies from discriminating against persons who have filed for bankruptcy. So USCIS is literally prohibited from denying a person's sponsorship petition for the sole reason that they filed a bankruptcy. And that's why they don't ask. But let's just say they did ask, which they don't, then common sense would dictate that a bankruptcy would help to get a petition to sponsor a family member approved. Think about it. If you no longer have debt, aren't you more able to sponsor your immigrating family member? It just makes sense. Now, if you still have doubts, or even if you don't and just want to confirm that the same principles apply in your case, pick up the phone and call your immigration attorney and ask them. It makes sense to ask, as there's always that one person in 100 who may defy the rule. You can even call one of the many free immigration clinics and ask an attorney there. It won't cost you anything. And you'll find that in the vast majority of situations, your bankruptcy will have no impact on your immigration efforts. So if you have debt that you cannot pay, don't let fear keep you down forever. Call me, attorney Robert J. Skowronski, at 773-283-1600 to set up your free consultation. Together, let's wipe out your debt and get you back on the road to pursuing the American dream.